Hey. Okay, I'm mad, I'm pissed, I'm mad. So I had originally already had the audio and everything for this done. All right, this is a re-recording. I have to do this video all over again because somehow the original recording just disappeared. All right, I think I accidentally deleted it and it's just gone now. But I was so desperate, all right? I wanted that original recording so bad. I went through, checked every folder in my laptop to make sure it wasn't in a different one. I checked my recycling bin, everything, all right? I was so desperate, I even downloaded a separate software to recover permanently deleted files even after the recycling bin has been emptied. I was so desperate. I recovered every single file I've ever deleted on my laptop ever since I've had it back in like 2021. 3 years worth of files I sifted through just to find the original recording and never found it. So of course, probably that of all things was overwritten and is just gone forever now. I'm so mad. It was like an hour long. I was going over my feelings on Xenosaga, okay? Because I had just beaten Xenosaga like an hour before that. I just beat Saga 3, so all the hype and reactions and everything were right there in that original recording, and I'm so mad that it's gone. But I guess the plus side is that now that a little time has passed and the hype has died down, I can speak about the series more fairly now and not just be hooked up on Saga 3, which is still an absolutely phenomenal game. But now that that little rant is out of the way, this video I'm gonna just kind of talk about my thoughts on the Xenosaga series now that I've played the whole thing and what I think about the games just in general, the series, and then I'm gonna go into each of the 3 games. But Xenosaga is great, alright? Xenosaga is fucking amazing. It's phenomenal. I love this series. Holy shit, I'm so glad that I played this series. I am so thankful that I was fortunate enough to have the means to play this series because goddamn are these games hard to obtain. Like this series is not easy to play as in its current state. And now that I've beaten Xenosaga, I'm even bigger of an advocate that these games do need some sort of re-release, but whether that be a remaster, more deservingly a remake, or just the bare minimum of a port with absolutely nothing changed to modern consoles, because this series really does deserve all of the attention that it doesn't get. The series is amazing, okay? I think I still like Xenoblade more since I started with Xenoblade. I've had the most time in Xenoblade, but there are some aspects of Saga that I like a lot more than Blade. For example, the lore in Xenosaga is insane, all right? It's got way more lore than Xenoblade if you really look into it, all right? Xenosaga is only like halfway finished, if that, so there's still so much untold and unfinished lore and story that we just never even heard about. All right, I'm not gonna get into the whole thing again about we're supposed to get 3 more games. I've said that thousands of times already, but even though it just said I'm not gonna say it, we were supposed to get more games. So the story we have with Saga now is completely different than what it was originally supposed to be and very unfinished. So God, I just wish we got the rest of the Saga games. All right, there's so many questions that I have that will probably never get answered, that we're probably going to get answered in the rest of the Saga games, however many that may have been. I know there was supposed to be 6, but the story of Xenosaga is so ambitious, it could have taken even more than that. And I'm here all for it. I love like big, long, continuous story like this. Xenosaga was supposed to be one giant story, all interconnected, and all across all of these games just telling this one story. I love that. It's great. I love huge, ambitious projects like that. But Xenosaga would never, it's not finished, all right? It's far from finished. So in the lore is amazing. I like the darker and more serious tone of Xenosaga than what Xenoblade has. So if I like that, then it's already good going into Xenogears. because Xenogears has a similar, not similar story, but it's similarly dark and serious and very heavy, just like Saga. So I'm going to be interested in that as well. Not to say that Xenoblades is bad or worse. I don't know. It's more of like a morbid curiosity, if that makes any sense. Like the darker, more serious tones and themes of Saga just appeal to me a lot more than Blade. Blade is a lot more tame, which makes sense because it is Nintendo. But overall, I think I like the overall story and lore of Xenosaga more. Although Xenoblade 2 is still my favorite story in the entire series, Xenosaga is very, very close. Oh god, I could go on for hours just talking about the lore itself in Xenosaga. It's amazing. Oh, it's immaculate. There's so many questions that were never answered because the series was not finished. Like, everyone's thought this. What the hell is up with Wilhelm, bro? Who is he? He's like Riku now. Who is he? I know he's like the guardian of the lower domain, but what the fuck does that mean? That could mean anything. Is he a wave existence? Okay. Is he a facet of the collective unconscious itself? Like, what is he? We never know like what exactly he is, where exactly he came from, what his purpose is. He's a guardian of the lower domain, but that's very vague. Like, to make sure it stays up, my headcanon, all right, I'm not really into headcanons and all that. I like to stay official and not speculate into headcanon too much. But I do have a headcanon for Wilhelm, in that he's a wave existence, all right? That he, just like Udo, Wilhelm is a wave existence, and Wilhelm is his physical form, just like how Abel is kind of Udo's physical form. And my little theory is that Wilhelm was a wave existence in the upper domain along with Udo, but maybe Udo feared his power and kicked him down to the lower domain, or there can't be more than one wave existence in certain domains, so he got kicked down to the lower domain. And if you think about it, it would kind of make sense for the former. If Udo got, terrified of his power, so he kicked him down to the lower domain, it would be kind of analogous to the Bible itself, how God kicked Lucifer down into hell because he was being evil. The exact details I don't remember, but Lucifer was doing some shit. I think he was like disobeying God or whatever, or Jesus. I'm not too into religion like that, or at all actually. But whatever the case, he got exiled out of heaven, ruler of hell, da-da-da-da-da. Udo could be like the god here, and then Wilhelm's Lucifer got kicked out. It would make sense since Xenosaga is very big on religion, not just religion, but Judeo-Christianity, which is where that happened at. So it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to think that. But yeah, my headcanon is that Wilhelm is a wave existence, because guardian of the lower domain, he's got all of these insane powers that not even Chaos has. All right. And Chaos is like the failsafe. I guess he's also kind of a guardian of the lower domain, because he has the power of anima. And but I think Wilhelm is stronger and has more power than that, because eternal recurrence, and he needs Chaos, aka Yeshua's anima power, and he kind of controls all of that. So I guess Wilhelm is stronger, and he's just got complete control over the lower domain. So I mean, he's got to be some kind of wave existence, right? Or some kind of something. And I'm pissed because the other Saga games we were supposed to get was probably going to explain that, and where the hell Wilhelm's from, where he came from, what the hell his whole deal is. All right, he's so shrouded in mystery, we know nothing about him damn near. And we probably would have figured it out sometime down the line in the rest of the story. And also another thing that I didn't really understand, I think someone explained this in one of the comments, but I still don't quite understand it. Yeshua, Nephilim, and Abel all went to Lost Jerusalem with the Zohar. So they all like warped out and like gated out over to Lost Jerusalem. So now this makes me wonder, did they know where it was this entire time? And if so, why the hell didn't Chaos just say something like, oh, I know where Lost Jerusalem is, and take them there? Or unless it's more like there was a gate to Lost Jerusalem, but they don't know exactly where it is. They just warped out and knew they would somehow end up at Lost Jerusalem, but don't know the exact coordinates. So that's why I sent Xion out to find Lost Jerusalem. He didn't know exactly where it was, but he knew when he gated out, he would end up at Lost Jerusalem. And what the hell is what's the key on Lost Jerusalem that holds the key to stopping the universe from collapsing, or at least slowing it? I think it was, yeah, there's a key on Lost Jerusalem that prevented the universe from collapsing. What's that key? And if we're tying this into Xenoblade, it could be Origin. There's a whole different explanation for that, but Luxon kind of explained that a little bit. But I mean, Lost Jerusalem is known as the land of origin. Now it could be seen as the land of origin, that's where everything originated from, the original Earth, but also where origin is at on Earth. Xenoblade Future Redeemed, at the end we saw the two Xenoblade 1 and 2 worlds coming back to form the original Earth, aka Lost Jerusalem, aka the land of origin. All right, we're not getting into this. We're not. All right, this is for a whole separate video. See, there's so much left unanswered with Saga that leads to so much room and open space for speculation and theorizing. All right, and you can't really prove anyone wrong because like half the series is unfinished. We don't know what was going to happen because Takahashi's just like that. All right, his brain is on a whole different level. All right, we're in the lower domain, and Takahashi's brain and intellect is just chilling up in the upper domain. We don't know what this man is thinking ever. All right, he could pop out with the most random shit and it would make sense somehow. That's just how Takahashi works. He's a genius. I love him. Him and Yoko Taro are like super big trolls, but in a cool way. And anyway, yeah, the whole Xenosaga 3 ending was kind of confusing with the whole Wilhelm and Lost Jerusalem stuff, which could be intentional, but it could also be a result of the game being rushed and them having to jam everything down and basically wrap up the whole series in that ending. So they didn't really have a whole lot of time to flesh things out. So it would make sense if some of that stuff was confusing and unintentional. But right, and then Alan, bro, my nigga Alan, my guy Alan finally won over Xion. He finally got with Xion, and I was so happy. Y'all saw the finale, the last part. If you didn't, go watch that, cause please. But yeah, I was popping off, bro. And the credits with Alan and him and Xion were holding hands is just like, my guy Alan, bro, he did it. This whole series, this entire series, bro, Alan is just so dedicated to Xion, even when she wanted nothing to do with him. She didn't care about him. And he was still there to the very end, supporting her and by her side, and it finally paid off. Alan is the GOAT. Alan is my fucking GOAT. He did it. Alan's my nigga, bro. Alan is my guy. He did it. He did that. He won over Xion. Finally got what he wanted. Alan is, oh god, I don't understand how anyone can dislike Alan. I don't know how anyone can hate Alan. He is such an amazing character, all right? He at first, you know, he was supposed to come off as like the comedic relief character, but oh goddamn, his character development, Alan's character development, Alan is the GOAT. He's one of the best characters in the whole Xeno series. I love Alan, he's amazing. But okay, now that's enough geeking out. I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on each of the games themselves. So Xenosaga 1, it is a bit dated, okay? Xenosaga 1 I like quite a bit, actually. It's probably my least favorite out of the three, but that doesn't mean I hate it or anything. I like Saga 1 a lot. and I like the atmosphere of it, and the UI is also very nice. The character designs, I know a lot of people don't like the character designs because they look all chibi and uncanny, which I think they're great. They kind of look adorable. I like the character designs of Saga 1. They're kind of just charming. They have their own little charm to them. So they look nice, all right, especially Cosmos. I like the big eyes, like the small squishy heads with the big ass eyes. I don't know, it looks nice. I like the charm and its own little sense of identity. Now the music, it didn't really have a whole lot of music. It had like 12 songs in the entire game. Every area had the same theme, I think. I know every fight had the exact same battle theme, but there were a couple, I think, that were like boss themes or whatever that wasn't the main battle theme, whatever it was. The gameplay is fun. It's kind of funny. I like the gameplay of okay, I was gonna say I like the gameplay of Saga 2 more, even though it's slower than 1. But from what I remember, Xenosaga 1 felt a bit slower than Saga 2. Now that I think about it, like I think I don't remember Saga 1 as fondly as I should, because for like mid to late game, I was underleveled a lot. So I would just skip a lot of encounters and just not really rush through the game, but I would just skip a lot of encounters because I just wanted to get on with the story and see what the story was about, because I was invested in the story. So I didn't want to have anything to do with anything else. I just want to get on with the story, fuck all these encounters. And this is an early 2000s JRPG. Skipping encounters, it just doesn't work. You can't do that. If you are underleveled, you will get destroyed easily, which is what happened to me. So I got destroyed from like mid game all the way to the end of the game. In like every fight, I struggled because I was so underleveled. The final boss took me way longer than it probably should have. That goddamn albedo fight is annoying too, especially when you're underleveled. I know this is all on me. I'm not blaming the game or anything, but goddamn is the game brutal when you're underleveled. All right, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you're not playing optimally and not using eggs. I forgot we had eggs the entire game. All right, I used it like once. That was in the tutorial part, and then again when we first get Rubido, we're in the eggs, I think. And other than that, I never used them again. I just completely forgot they were even in the game. All right, I completely forgot about the eggs. So eventually, whenever I do replay Xenosaga 1, I will try my best to remember to use the eggs. That would make the game a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable. But I just struggled through the whole game with 0 eggs at all. All right, and that's on me. I would probably have been fine being underleveled if I just remembered I had eggs there, bro. God damn it, how did I forget that? Such a big part of the combat. I guess that's why they kind of made eggs and ground combat, or I guess ES combat in Xenosaga 2 and 3 separate, because I forgot I didn't even use them the entire time throughout the first game. The eggs, I completely forgot they were there. And I guess Monosoft saw that or predicted that would happen, so they just kind of made ES and ground combat separately, because one of them would just get neglected. I don't know what the design choice behind that was. But Saga 1 is nice. The story, from what I remember, I like focusing and just building up Shion as a character, and her relationship with Cosmos was very nice. And some stuff with Momo. I like Saga 1 a lot. It's kind of funny that I replayed Saga 2 before replaying Saga 1, even though comparatively the gameplay to Saga 2, Saga 1 probably has the better gameplay. And just considering all the things wrong, I guess, with Saga 2, I was much more enthusiastic to replay 2 than I was 1. But I mean, Xenosaga 2 is also my favorite of the 3, so is that really even surprising to anybody here? I don't know. Saga 3, Oh god, after beating Saga 3, it's oh god, it's so good. I love it. It's perfect. The ending was perfect. Everything with maybe Tomorrow playing over the montage, and then Shion giving her fucking Xenoblade speech, and then Cosmos at the end is the whole ending was just perfect. I loved it. It was amazing. Right? And Cosmos talking to Chaos, and then she's drifting off towards Lost Jerusalem. It was just so fucking amazing. Saga 3's ending was great. All right, let's just say that I love Saga 3's ending. So the ending alone really bumped up Saga 3 a lot for me. So I can't really decide. I think for right now Saga 2 is still my favorite, but Saga 3 is very, very close to taking that, okay? Saga 3 is very close to trumping 2 as my favorite. They're damn near equal right now. So I don't know why I like Saga 2 so much, but we'll get on to that in a second. Yeah, Saga 1 is great. I like Xenosaga 1. Yeah, now that I've played it and know how the combat in the game works, I'm sure I'll have an easier and better time going through the game when I replay it. So, and it's been over a year. God damn, it's already been a year since I played Saga 1, bro. It took me a year to play this entire series. 3 games. That is sad. It only took Blunds like a couple months to play the entire Trail series, I think. And it took me a year just to play 3 Xenosaga games. Holy hell. Well, because Xenosaga or Xenoblade 3 dropped in the middle of my Saga 2 playthrough, so obviously I had to put that on hold. And then I finally picked that back up, started playing Saga 3, and then here comes fucking Future Redeem dropping in the middle of my Saga 3 playthrough. So I mean, I guess it's alright, but still, holy shit. But yeah, Saga 1 is great, and I will replay it eventually. Now, Saga 2, Xenosaga 2, my beloved. I like Xenosaga 2 a lot, and for what reason I cannot tell you. I don't know. I really just don't know why I like Saga 2 so much. There's a lot of things about Saga 2 I like, but like the main reason why I prefer Saga 2 over the others, I think I just kind of gaslit myself into liking it more than I normally would have, because everyone is speaking so badly on Saga 2. It's like, okay, it cannot be that bad. And I actually was a big time Saga 2 hater before I played it. I didn't really know anything about it. I just went along with what everyone else says, which you should not do, by the way. All right, I learned my lesson. Don't do that. Don't bandwagon. I hate bandwagoners. Do not bandwagon and just go along with what everyone else is saying. All right, that's literally what Twitter is. But form opinions on games yourself. Experience it yourself and then form your own opinion. Don't bandwagon, all right? As a former bandwagoner, regrettably, don't do it, okay? It's not it. But I went into Saga 3 or Saga 2 very fearful with all these bad things I heard about it. And then I started playing the game, and like early to mid game, I started to realize this Saga 2 really isn't as bad as everyone's saying it is. Yeah, sure, the character designs are a bit creepy and weird and nasty and ugly. Yeah, I can get past that. The gameplay, that is like one, if really the only complaint I have about Saga 2 is the god-awful speed. Everything is so slow and takes so long to do everything all the time. Loading like in and out of a battle will take like 30 seconds. The loading screens are abhorrent. All right, it's so abysmally slow in everything that it does. All right, it's if the game was just faster, it would be better. But then I know there's gonna be those people like, oh, just play it on emulator and speed it up. I'm not doing that. First of all, I didn't even play it on emulator, and I refuse to. I'd much rather play games original hardware, original software. All right, everything natural and original. I'm not a fan of emulation unless it's my absolute last resort. I will go out of my way to get the physical versions. So that wasn't even an option, and even if it was, I still wouldn't have done it. So, but yeah, the only complaint I have is Saga 2 is just slow. It's just really slow. If any game deserves a remake, it is definitely Saga 2. Saga 2 has the most flaws out of the 3 and definitely is the most deserving of a remake. But the gameplay, I like a lot. The combat, I think that Saga 2 combat is probably the most unique and diverse combat in the series. All right, Xenosaga 1, you just spam X Buster with Cosmos, just stack Ether Attack and Agility on her and just spam X Buster. Xenosaga 3, you literally, all you have to do is use Ziggy. That's it, just Devil Break with Ziggy and you can sweep the whole game. But Saga 2, there's not really a cheese strat you can use as far as I know, and it's really the only combat system where you have to actively be paying attention to what you're doing, engaged in the combat. You have to actively think out every step and every input, I guess. There's not really a time where you can just mindlessly mash buttons, except for if you're like grinding in the Damarang as Shion. But other than that, in actual combat, you kind of have to pay attention to what you're doing, what sword you have to apply, the break zones of the characters, the ground or air combos you want to do, making sure your boosts are up, the slot turn, everything. So the combat in Saga 2 is the most unique. It's definitely the most unique mechanic-wise and just premise-wise, and you actually have to pay attention to what you're doing. I like combat systems like that. We actively have to, you know, engage in the combat and pay attention to what you're doing, and not just mash buttons, spam X Buster. But yeah, the Saga 2 gameplay is pretty fun, even though it is kind of slow. I also don't understand why shops were taken out of the game, so all the items you get are found from chests or as like spoils from combat. There's no shops. I blanked out for a second. There's no shops for whatever reason, and every character has the exact same skill tree, so there's not really a whole lot of diversity in team members. You can really use whoever you want. I mean, each character has like different stats, I guess, but in terms of skills, every character has the exact same skills, so you don't have to worry about that. The story, I love the story of Saga 2 a lot, especially the relationship between Rubido and Albedo. I love Rubido, alright, he's probably he's probably my favorite Saga character is Rubido. Alright, Saga 2 and 3 did an amazing job at building up Rubido as a character, especially 2, and after playing Saga 2, he was really cemented as my favorite character. Like before playing 2, and up to like mid-game, Rubido isn't really touched on, even though Saga 2 is mainly about Rubido. He wasn't really touched on until the whole Sakura thing around mid-game. So before getting around there, I just had neutral feelings about Junior. I didn't really think too much of him. Like, oh, he's a cool dual gun wielders. I like dual gunners are cool. All right, double clutching the Glocks. It's cool. But other than that, yeah, I didn't really have any opinion on him. But now that I've played Saga 2, and especially after beating Saga 3, Rubido, I can confidently say, is probably my favorite Xenosaga character. He's just so cool. He's great. His story is tragic. His relationship with Albedo is tragic. His relationship with the other URTVs as well as with Dmitry Yuriev and Negredo, tragic. God, Rubido is such a tragic but amazing character. I love him so much. He's great. And Saga 2, his relationship with Albedo, I like Albedo a lot as well. Probably my favorite villain in Xenosaga. I love both of them. Both the Betos, bro. Both Betos, Rubido and Albedo, are amazing characters. And Rubido's like semi-reconciliation with Albedo at the end of Saga 2 was just so bittersweet, and it hurt. And then they didn't really reconcile until Saga 3, which even then they still didn't really reconcile. Negredo just forced Albedo's consciousness back into Rubido and took over Albedo's body so it could kill Dmitry Yuriev. So Albedo sleeping away in Rubido, and it's just beautiful. I love the URTV trio: Negredo, Rubido, and Albedo. They're all amazing characters. Okay. And then Saga 2, not only touching on Rubido's relationship with Albedo, but Momo's relationship with herself, and like her being basically a replica of Sakura, or Momo was built in the image of Sakura by Mizrahi, Yoki Mizrahi. So Sakura's connected to Momo, and then Momo's relationship with Rubido, and by extension Albedo and Negredo, but mainly Rubido, because Rubido was the one connecting with Sakura and basically not protecting her. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. I don't remember exactly, but Rubido had a special connection with Sakura, so in turn he would have a connection with Momo. And the whole thing, during the whole Sakura thing, Junior just gets closer to Momo, and it's great. All right, it's so great. All of the characters in Saga get touched on a bit throughout the 3 games. In Saga 1, it's mainly Cosmos and Shion. Saga 2 is Momo and Rubido. Jin in Saga 3, kind of, although I think it's fucking bullshit that Jin died at the end of Saga 3, but I'll talk about that in the Saga 3 portion. But yeah, and then Ziggy also, some of it in Saga 2, but more so in Saga 3. And then Chaos also in Saga 3. I think that's all the characters. I can't believe if I forgot one. But yeah, Xenosaga 2, the story is probably okay. Well, I think I like Saga 3's story a bit more than 2's. But yeah, definitely the whole part, all the parts with Rubido and Albedo are amazing in Saga 2. The music is a huge step up from Saga 1. All right, Saga 1 had like 12 songs. Saga 2 drastically increased that, which each area I think having their own themes. A lot of the songs, a lot of my favorite Xenosaga songs are from Saga 2, are like Kukai Foundation, Second Milsha, the UMN Control Center, I think it's called, the Elsa, Here She Comes, Cosmos. Like a lot of my favorite Saga songs are from Saga 2. From what I remember, Sweet Song was amazing. I haven't listened to it in forever, so I don't remember what it sounds like, but I think maybe Tomorrow's my favorite ending song in Saga. No surprise, that's everybody's. But yeah, Xenosaga 2 is amazing. All right, at least to me, I'm about like the only person. There's like 6 people in the whole world who like Saga 2 and think it's a decent game. Me, I'm 4 of those 6 people. So I like Saga 2 a lot, probably because I gas it myself. Like I said earlier, I didn't really explain that, but you know, I went into Saga 2 hearing of all this bad stuff about it, so I was expecting not a whole lot. And then I played Saga 2 around early to mid game, was like, okay, this game isn't that bad. And then around late game, I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying Saga 2. And by the time I beat Saga 2, I was like, okay, Saga 2 is actually really fun. I like Saga 2 a lot. But then I, like across Twitter and YouTube and just in general, I kind of like gas it myself to like Saga 2 more than I actually did, just to be contrarian, because everyone's hating on Saga 2, saying it's how it's the worst in the series. And like, no, I gotta make sure I don't fit in, all right? I gotta be contrarian. Saga 2 is amazing. And then I started to actually believe what I was saying, and now I genuinely really love Xenosaga 2. It's kind of insane. Gaslighting works, all right, kids? Remember, gaslighting works, but don't gaslight other people. Just gaslight yourself into liking something that you probably don't. It'll work. Don't gaslight other people. But if you were to, all I'm saying, if you were to gaslight, I'm not saying you shouldn't gaslight people, but if you did, it's kind of effective, all right? That's all I'm saying. Xenosaga 2 is great. I love it. I don't know if I really touched on a whole lot of points about Saga 2, other than gameplay's fun, the story is very nice, I like, music is great. Character designs, yeah, the character designs aren't the greatest, but they're not really bad either. The faces are just weird and ugly and just uncomfortable to look at, especially like Shion and Chaos. Momo looks why did they decide to make him like that? And why did Takahashi, like, no offense to the new team, but why did Takahashi hand it off to younger, less experienced developers for Saga 2? Why did he do that? I'm not really sure why. What was the reason behind that? I can't really think of any. And I think he brought back a lot of the original developers from Saga 1 over to Saga 3, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I'm so mad that Xenosaga failed the way it did. But I'm also kind of happy that it failed the way it did, because then we wouldn't have Xenoblade and I would not be making this video right now. So thanks, I guess, for Xenosaga failing and being bad, that we now got Xenoblade, which I was exposed to Xenoblade, which let me come back and experience Saga and now Gears. So thanks, Xenosaga, for failing, because now I get to experience you because you failed. I don't know, but yeah, Xenosaga 2 is a great game, I say. Now we get on to Saga 3. Xenosaga 3 is a massive improvement to Saga 2 in almost every way. All right, the combat went back to being less thought-provoking and more just spammy. There's not really a unique mechanic or like main gimmick to the Saga 3 combat like there is for 2. Like Saga 2, the zones, the break zones of enemies and combos were like the big appeal to it. Saga 1, I guess, was the eggs, since that was integrated with ground combat, and that was like the big gimmick, and it was the first game, so everything was the big gimmick. But I guess it was the eggs, which you can also just cheese that as well. Saga 3, I don't think it really had. I don't think Saga 3 even had a gimmick or like main combat mechanic exclusive to Saga 3. I know there's probably something that I'm blanking out on right now, but like special attacks and finish strikes, I can't really think of anything else other than that. Dumbass breaks, like the break gauge, I guess that inspired the break system we have in Xenoblade now. But like breaking, breaking wasn't in. Okay, so breaking enemies is the Saga 3 gimmick, just like filling up the break gauge, and then you have 2 full turns to just do whatever you want. Crit rate is increased, whatever. It's the break gauge, but that's also very easy to cheese because Ziggy exists and he's just a fucking monster when it comes to breaking. And I think Devil Break got miscoded and just became super overpowered more than it was probably intended to. I don't think Devil Break was intended to be as broken as it is. All right, Devil Break does more damage than Heavy Tackle. Devil Break is a medium break attack, and it does more damage than some of Ziggy's heavy break attacks. And I think it does more break damage. No, it just barely does less break damage, but it does more normal damage than some of his stronger attacks. I think Devil Break was miscoded and was not supposed to be as broken as it is. But you can easily cheese it with Jin, and just being able to increase your boost count is also very scary because you can just build up. I think the max you can have is 9 boosts. Okay, just completely build up all 9 boosts, and just once you break an enemy, just spam Devil Break with Ziggy back to back to back to back to back. And when they're broken, they get increased crit chance, which also increases the boost gauge, and you get type B critical, which increases, or just type B, M, and G critical, that increases crit rate to B, G, and M enemies. So you can just spam that and just get unbelievably large damage, or just go Jin and just spam crit Gale Strikes everywhere. It's so easy to cheese the combat of Saga 3. There's not really much thought-provoking stuff. So I think in terms of everything between Saga 2 and 3, Saga 2 has the upper hand, at least in combat. Unfortunately though, that's about the only thing that's better than Saga 3 is the combat. Everything else is so much more of an improvement. The sound design, the music, it's a lot more music, and I actually think the music in Saga 3 is better. I don't know better because that's subjective. I like it more. I like the Saga 3 music more. But The designs, character designs, and the atmospheres look a lot better. The game is so much faster, bro. Fights can be over in less than 10 seconds if you really want them to. You can get into a fight and escape within like 5 seconds. That would take like a minute in Saga 2 just to get into a fight and then escape. It takes like a minute. So Saga 3 is so much faster in all of its load times. Opening up the menus after a fight, cutscenes, everything is just so much faster. It's amazing. I love how snappy and quick Saga 3 is. And the UI, I love the UI and the whole like turquoise blue color theme going throughout Saga 3. Saga 3, like with the UI, with the title of the game itself, some of the areas, there's this like blue, turquoise blue light theme motif going on throughout the whole game. I love that color. It looks so nice, especially in like Labyrinthos and in Mictum at the bottom before we go to see Zarathustra where we fight Telos. That area is very pretty. It all just kind of matches Cosmos. But yeah, the combat itself, all the characters finally have their own unique skill trees again, and not just that, they also have their own unique roles. So each character can split up into 2 separate roles. For example, Cosmos could be either an attacker, so go all out on damage, or a blocker, which is basically a tank. Momo could be I think it was called Spellcaster, where she just focuses on ether attacks and her ether damage, or she could be, I think it was not a breaker. I think it was just support. But Ziggy could be a blocker where he just becomes a big tank, or he could be a breaker where he just focuses on break damage. Every character has 2 separate skill trees they can like go into, which will basically give them a role. Like whatever skill tree you go to kind of determines what role or class, I guess you can say. I like the skill tree system of Saga 3, and everyone has very unique skills that are fun to use. Every character is pretty fun to use, and I don't know, I feel like swapping between characters is just a lot easier in this game. I know you could do that in Saga 2. I don't know about 1. I don't think you could swap characters mid-fight in Saga 1. I know you could in 2, but I don't know, for whatever reason it just feels a lot smoother and easier to do in 3, maybe because the gameplay is just a lot smoother and faster. I don't know, but every character is unique. They got their tech attacks, they have ether attacks, and then they got their special attacks with the finish strikes and everything, so that's cool. The music is, especially near the end of the game, the music is immaculate. All bosses finally have their own like unique themes now. I think all of them do except a couple. But the music is absolutely beautiful in this game. Hepatica Cosmos is one of my favorite themes. God, that's gorgeous. I could sit there and listen to it all day. Hepatica Cosmos is just, all 3 versions of Hepatica are just gorgeous. Maybe Tomorrow, obviously, is a banger. Labyrintho Search for Xion is one of my favorite songs in the game. That's a fan favorite. It's amazing. Just the overall music of this game is so great. The character designs look great. Fucking Xion, bro. Xion is so fucking gorgeous in this game. She's so pretty. She looks so much better than she did in Saga 2. Saga 1, I like her design and her little tuft of hair and then her braid on one side. I liked her hair in that game, but Saga 3, Xion is absolutely beautiful. The characters look great. Rubido looks a lot better. Momo's adorable, and I like Momo's new outfit, and her bow is really badass and dope. I like Chaos's new outfit. I think everyone in this game just has better outfits. Cosmos version 3 is kind of weird. I'm not really a big fan of that design, but version 4 looks so much better. I think I like version 2 with her water ass more than version 3. Version 3 just looks uncomfortable and weird. It doesn't look right. But oh god, version 4 is definitely her best design. Way better than Cosmos Refrain. Alright, Cosmos version 4 is probably her best design that she's had. It's amazing. Everyone just looks so much better in this game. Alright, though I don't like how Chaos his voice actor from Saga 1 didn't come back. They kept the voice actor from Saga 2, which I don't feel like really fits him. But now that I've heard him with that deeper, more edgy voice for so long, I guess it fits the design of Saga 3. But I miss his original voice actor. I wish they brought him back. But I'm glad Shion came back along with Bridget Hoffman for Cosmos. Everyone just was amazing in this game, all right? Jin looks better than ever too. Everyone looks incredible in this game. All the designs are great. And the sound design of Saga 3 is so great, bro. But even games today, coming out today, modern games for these modern systems don't even have sound design as good as Saga 3. Saga 3 has better sound design than a lot of these more recent modern games. It's fucking insane. Like if say you're in like a big ass hallway, and naturally there would be a lot of echo, like in real life. If you're in like this big warehouse, whatever, there's going to be a lot of echo, and that's how it is in Saga 3. And some of the big buildings, there's echo. But not only does like the footsteps and the voices echo, all of your inputs echo as well. So if you open up the menu and scroll through the menu and just play around with the menu, that shit echoes too, like in the main menu. That's so cool. And then even in battles, everything will echo. It's so cool. Just the sound will echo and everything. And if you're in smaller areas, it'll sound more muffled. The fucking sound design, the sound design of Saga 3 is insane. The sound design of Saga 3 is immaculate. It's so immac. Oh, it's great. I love the sound design of Saga 3. It's so great. I love the whole echo, just the reverb, and just the way things sound depending on what type of shape of room you're in. I know there's a term for it. Scruffy, y'all may not even know who that is, but he makes YouTube videos going over a bunch of different stuff about sound and music and video games and stuff. Definitely recommend checking out the GOAT Scruffy. But on one of his Pikmin videos, there's this, what I'm talking about, it has a term and he mentioned it. It's something, it's like IR, something reverb. I can't think of the word to save my life. If I remember, I'll just put it up on screen right now if I remember, but I can't think of it. Whatever. But God, it's so great. All right, the sound design of Saga 3 is amazing. The story, Telos, I love Telos. Mary Magdalene is cool, although we didn't really get to see a whole lot of her, unfortunately. She is a nice, I do like her character premise, I guess. Her consciousness living in Cosmos while her physical body is Telos. It's really cool, and like her becoming one whole, and it's great. And then the whole ending with Wilhelm and Eternal Recurrence, just that massive lore dump was amazing. I was all in on that. Alright. The game, Saga 3 is just an incredible game all around, bro. So many bittersweet moments. It's just a roller coaster of emotions and everything. Saga 3 is amazing. What a phenomenal game. I don't know how it performed and sold as bad as it did. How did this game fail, bro? Saga 3 is such an amazing game. It's so great. Pellegrini is my wife. I love Pellegrini. I don't care what anyone says. I love Pellegrini. She's amazing. She fucking popped herself at the end, bro. She just her aunt Margulis. And then fucking Jin died at the end of Saga 3 as well. That bitch ass Gnosis. But he was so badass. The Gnosis stabbed straight through his body with that big ass sword. And Jin just pulled it out and started beating that Gnosis ass with its own sword that it just stabbed Jin with. And then stabbed him again. And then ripped that shit out. Jin is so badass. Eventually he did die for even though he didn't show in the game. I mean, come on. How else would that happen? How does it happen when you get stabbed through your body with a fucking sword and just tear that shit out? You're gonna bleed out, okay? Jin bled out, and it was such a somber, bittersweet moment when he did die. He was finally content with what was was happening. He was okay with dying. It was actually very peaceful and everything for him. So, God, rest in paradise to my goat Jin. But fucking hell, he didn't have to die. And then that whole part where he reconciled with Xion before he went off and died, when he took everyone on Asher and took them out of that Corey, I guess I still don't know what that area is called. But he took them out of there, and then he went back in East Asher, and he finally reconciled with Xion, and God, that was a bittersweet moment, because the whole series, her and Jin just kept going back and forth, bickering and fighting. And just all along, they both really cared for each other and loved each other and blamed themselves for their relationships. And so great, and then fucking, it hurt me, bro, when Jin was going back, and then he said how he was terrified, but he has to do that. He was terrified to go back and protect chaos and all that while they were gating out. He was terrified, but he knew that's what he had to do. God damn it, bro. Oh, Jin. There's like sweat and blood has continued. It's on the front. He was terrified, right? That guy was so terrified. And oh, Jin. It's just so hard to say. I understand why. Because Xenosaga is Cosmos and Chaos are going to be characters throughout all of the games. So obviously the characters are going to have to start dying off the seventh game. Fucking hell, why Jin here? Why Jin? That could kill anyone else, bro. Not that I wanted anyone else to die. But why Jin? God damn, I love it. He's my favorite character. Thanks for going to off this one. Yeah, that's the other thing that I have except for all the things that I still understand so many questions about the last one. That's just how Xenoblade works in general. You can play the games 14 times in a row. Every little detail, every single database entry, every little piece of lore everywhere, anywhere. Just over and over and over again. Everything perfect works. Everything sounds okay. Everything. I love you. Damn it. I love Xeno so much. God, I love Xeno. Why did I get into this series? Alright. It made my life so much better, but at the same time, it ruined the fuck out of it. Takahashi both made my life and ruined it. Like, goddamn, bro. Takahashi, you fucking menace. Oh yeah, Xenosaga is... Xenosaga is amazing. I love this series, and I cannot wait to get into Xenogears, which is funny that I said that because I already started Xenogears, but I only have like one episode recorded right now. I literally didn't even make it out of Lahan. I haven't even talked to Alice yet because my dumbass didn't know that I need a PS1 memory card in order to save data from my PS2. Like, I need PS1 memory card for PS1 games. For some reason, they don't read PS2 memory cards, which, I mean, I guess makes sense, but at the same time, whatever. So I wasn't able to save, so I kind of couldn't play Xenogears until my PS1 memory card came in, which it did come in yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago, since this is after midnight, whatever, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Finally came in, so I can finally just nonstop just record Xenogears. But I'm very excited to continue Xenogears. Once I finally beat Xenogears, bro, finally, I would have played the entire Xeno series. I can call myself a true Xeno fan. All right, Xeno is already my favorite gaming series of all time ever. So And then beating Xenogears will finally cement me as a true Xeno fan. I would have played all of the games. I'll finally be a true Xeno fan. So, and I'll finally be able to start making Xenosaga and Gears content on this channel. I've been kind of making a bit of Saga content, but I can make more now that I've beaten the games. So I'm excited. I got a couple videos planned for Saga. And speaking of videos planned, the next video after this one will not be the beginning of the Xenogears playthrough. I'm gonna start the Xenogears playthrough like right after beating Saga, as you can already see. I'm gonna start uploading that, but there is a Xenoblade X video that I will be uploading next that I have been hinting at and talking about for months now, and it's still not out. I'm like halfway done with editing that, so I can get all that edited and uploaded. Fingers crossed tomorrow. I'm not promising anything because I've made enough empty promises as it is, but fingers crossed I can get it all done and uploaded tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then definitely the day after that. So within the next couple days, the Xenoblade X video will finally be out. And then after that X video, maybe I shouldn't say that, Xenoblade X video, then I will start the Xenogears playthrough. So yeah, I'm so fucking hype. Started just reviving my channel. All right, finally reviving my channel. I finally beat Saga. The last time I played Saga before like finishing the playthrough was like months. So there's like months hiatus on the Saga playthrough. That's finally done. Finally got Saga content, now doing Gears. I got content for this channel now. So I kind of abandoned it to focus on my second channel, which is about to pass this channel. So a little too hard. I focused on it a little too much. Now it's time to start putting love and care and focus back into this main channel where it all started from. I can't abandon y'all like that. So I'm talking a lot and quick. So I'm out of breath. But yeah, content is to come. I love Xenosaga. What an amazing series. I still like Xenoblade more, but Xenosaga is very close. It's god damn, I see why so many people love this series, and I do as well. Xenosaga will be a series that I hold dearly and fondly for a long time, never to forget about it. And I'm hoping to add Xenogears to that soon. So with all of that being said, stay safe, see you next mission, and play some goddamn Xenosaga.